Throughout history, the impact of warfare has extended far beyond the battlefields, profoundly affecting the lives of ordinary civilians. From ancient conflicts to modern wars, the day-to-day existence of non-combatants has been marked by a spectrum of change and challenge. This narrative explores how ordinary people lived during times of war, examining their experiences across various historical contexts. The origins of how wars affected civilian populations can be traced back to ancient times when wars were fought between nascent city-states or empires. As these entities sought control over territories, the livelihoods of common people were often drastically altered. For instance, during the Roman conquests, local economies were disrupted, leading to shortages of goods and a significant impact on civilian life. The logistics of supplying armies often led to requisitioning food and resources from local communities, which directly influenced the everyday lives of ordinary people. In medieval Europe, warfare often involved sieges of towns and castles. Civilians living in besieged cities faced starvation and disease as supply lines were cut off. The strategic importance of controlling fortified locations meant that entire populations became pawns in military tactics, with their homes and lives hanging in the balance. This period highlights how key decisions in military campaigns had direct repercussions on civilian populations. The political context also significantly shaped civilian experiences during wartime. For example, during the 30 Years' War in Europe, 1618 to 1648, religious and political conflicts between various states led to widespread devastation across the continent. Armies supporting different factions often pillaged towns they passed through, leaving a trail of suffering among ordinary people. The war's political complexity intensified civilian hardships, as shifting alliances and multiple fronts made it difficult for populations to find security. Moving into more contemporary times, World War I marked a significant turning point in the scale of impact on civilian life due to total war concepts. Governments mobilized entire economies for war efforts, leading to rationing of food and other essential supplies at home. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers to replace men who had gone to fight, reshaping societal roles and expectations. World War II further expanded the scope with which civilians were affected by global conflict. The bombing campaigns over Britain, Germany, and later Japan turned cities into battlegrounds where no one was safe from the effects of war. Civilian morale became a key consideration for all belligerents. Maintaining it involved propaganda campaigns that shaped public opinion and kept up the spirit amidst frequent air raids and shortages. The Cold War era introduced a new dimension with psychological impacts playing a significant role due to the constant threat of nuclear war. Civil defense measures like air raid shelters and safety drills became commonplace in schools and workplaces, embedding the anxieties of war into daily life, even though direct conflict did not occur on most occasions. In recent decades, asymmetrical warfare such as that seen in Iraq and Afghanistan post-2001 has again altered civilian experiences significantly. Urban warfare and insurgency operations have led to environments where distinguishing between combatant and non-combatant is increasingly challenging. Civilians often find themselves amidst crossfire or subjected to bombings that blur traditional front lines. Throughout these varied historical contexts, certain common consequences for civilians emerge repeatedly. Displacement due to conflict leads many to become refugees. Economic destabilization due to warfare pressures, local resources. Social structures are often strained as communities cope with loss and trauma. The long-term impacts on ordinary people living through wartime can be profound. Post-war periods are typically marked by efforts at rebuilding physical infrastructure, but also require addressing deep psychological scars left by conflict. Societies must sometimes negotiate new identities after experiencing occupation or profound communal strife. Reflecting on these historical instances provides insight into how deeply war can penetrate into the fabric of civilian life, reshaping economies, altering landscapes, and redefining societal roles long after peace treaties are signed. These explorations serve not only as records of past hardships, but also as reminders of resilience amid human adversity across different eras.